What were they drinking? Was that coffee, tea, three-horned goat milk? Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. Today we are talking about Andor, Episode 6, The Eye. I complained about the pacing of this show. And today what we got was 45 minutes of dull and 10 minutes of action. I'm sorry. I've been talking about this, and this is my biggest problem with the show, is the pacing is slow. And, I mean, it looked fine. I mean, again, the look of the show is fine. It looks a lot like Rogue One did, same crew, so it's not surprising. My big problem is they have managed to write themselves out of a sci-fi action show and have a kind of ho-hum rebel drama is where we are now. Sorry, I'm not any happier about it than you are. I've been enjoying the show. I guess that's not really the right word. The show hasn't been terrible, and that's been my biggest, compliment, is it's been okay. It's had one good episode. Episode 4 I thought was great. This one had 10 minutes of good stuff, but that 10 minutes wasn't worth the 47 minutes of not. They should have shortened the episode. It would have been better. There was just a lot of stuff. There was a lot of singing. So let's just jump right in here. It's months and months of planning for this big robbery of the Imperial payroll on Eldari. And the Denai locals are coming to do their worship, as the Eye. That's that storm in the sky that we've been talking about. The big visual, whatever atmospheric condition thing that it is. And it is quite stunning when you see it. It's beautiful, but... And you have the Imperial brass who are there, Commandant Behaze, whatever, who behaves, and his family. So we haven't met this guy yet, which is kind of amazing since we're on episode 6. They started this freaking plot to rob this thing back in episode 2. We're on episode 6, and we finally get there, and there was a lot of I just don't care in this episode. You meet his son, who's a regular 11, 12-year-old kid. His wife is fine. None of them want to be on this assignment. There's an engineer who's come to be there for the spectacle, but he's also looking at the site, for future Imperial use. They're going to be putting in, I think, a landing area or something. Again, it doesn't really matter. You don't really care. And this is the last time the Denai are going to be able to do their worship for the Eye, but they don't know it. No one's telling them. And this guy just wants to get off the planet, the Commandant. Great. So the whole thing is coming to a head. They've got their Imperial uniforms on, our team of Cass Andor and the 3 other rebel folk, and they have infiltrated the units. They're saying they're from one of the other outposts on the planet, and they're just there to reinforce. And Lieutenant Gorn is like, okay, good job, guys. And so they're just escorting the Denai as this thing is getting ready to happen. So it's Cassian, Nemec, who's the kid, Skeen, who's kind of the skeevy, used to be a prisoner dude, and Tamarin. He's the kind of gruff lead, maybe second in command of the group, whatever. And Vel and Cinta, those are the 2 female members of the group. Vel's the leader. Cinta was the healer member of the group. They're going under the lock, and they're disrupting radio comms. That's their big part of the job. Remember, they're stealing this ship that has the payroll in it, and they're going to fly off into the atmospheric storm, which will screw up the TIE fighters. It's fine. So you have a lot of singing, and the Denai sing a lot in this episode, and I'm not going to lie, it was annoying. You could cut out, do the Denai sing once, but it just kept going on and on and on and on while the heist is going down. So they take the commandant's family hostage like rebels do, and they sound like terrorists is what they sound like. But I suppose that's all a matter of perspective. Telling the commandant, yeah, you got to come down here, open up the vault, and let us in. And things go bad. Things start taking a really bad turn here. So they're down in the cargo bay. There's like a squad of dudes down there playing cards, and they put them to work. Everybody's got guns on them to load up this ship, while the eye is going on. And again, it's a nice visual effect. It's fine. But one of the comms guys starts picking up their chatter on the radio because remember they blocked the radio. That's what the Val and her companion's job was, to block radio. Well, some of the signals are getting through, and the corporal up there is like, "Hey, something isn't right." So he gets a squad of guys, and they go down to the hangar where the payroll is, and they see this going on. And Lieutenant Gorn's like, "This is a classified mission and you don't have clearance." And in the meantime, Commandant's having a heart attack. He's not looking good. He wasn't a thin guy. They had him moving stuff around, and he just clutches the old chest and keels over. That's all right. That was fine. And now we get to Gorn gets shot, and who's the other fellow? Tamarin gets killed in this attack when the corporal comes down and guns start ablazing. Basically, after the commandant goes down, all hell breaks loose down there, and it's just blasters firing everywhere. So they get everybody loaded into the ship as much as they can. They have all the credits, and Cassian puts it in gear, and they go. But they're not secured in the cabin very well. This doesn't seem to be. I thought it looked like a good laid out plan. It wasn't. It was just chaos as all hell. And like I said, they're not secured in the cabin. So as soon as Cassian applies the gas, one of the carts with the credits slides back and crushes poor Nemec. And he's the one who has the coordinates that Cassian needs to follow to get through the storm and out. And what we do get here, and I was pretty happy about this, is we see a lot of TIE fighter stuff. And this was my favorite part of the episode, this action bit. Basically, from when the robbery starts going bad, the episode gets interesting. The TIE fighters engage, and the storm does exactly what it does. The TIE fighters are trying to fire, but then the Cassian ship gets lost in the atmospheric display, and the TIE fighters are just blowing up, and it's a hot mess up there. But it was cool to see the TIE fighters again, and the pilots doing, TIE fighter pilot stuff, which is usually blowing up. But, it is what it is. Val is worried about compromising the mission, and Skeen's like, "Hey, we need to get this kid some medical care. There's a doctor they have in the contingency plan." And so they decide they are going to go off to the dock, and the doctor's in there working on poor crushed Nemec, while Vel stands watch over that. And Skeen and Cassian are outside, and Skeen's like, "So how much you think we got there? Like 80 million credits? What about 40 million each? Huh?" And then Cassian shoots him in the head. He was not having any of that. And then the episode gets slow for me again, but it doesn't get slow for long. So Cassian goes in and basically tells Vel, he's like, he's holding her gun one, "I want my cut of this, and I want to get out of here." Because he's done. He did not enjoy this, because this op went terribly. They got the gold, but you lost most of your team. It's a success in technical terms. Not so much of a great success for your team, though, because most of them are dead. So he gets a ship from the forearm dock, and he's gone. We don't know yet. So now we're not sure what's going to happen to Cassian. He was ambivalent about this to begin with, and he doesn't come out of this, I think, any better. Now back on Coruscant, Mon Mothma is giving a speech. I remember last time there was some planet that they were gonna blockade, and they weren't going to be getting basically they were getting cut off from all their supplies, and everyone was going to die. So I think she's giving that speech, but no one is listening in the Senate. It was nice to see the Senate again. I am going to say that. And then she picks up a tablet, and then we do a back to the antique shop with Luthen, and someone in the shop's like, "Hey, do you have any Andari artifacts?" And he's like, "Why?" He's like, big rebel attack out there. And Luthen's like, huh, let me go check in the back. And he goes in the back and he has a nice laugh. He's just happy as all hell. It actually happened. That's the episode. It wasn't, I want to say that my review is short, but I wish the episode were short. It was too long. It was too long. There was too much filler stuff. And that pace is deadly slow. The action sequences when they were there were nice, but there weren't enough of them. So that's where we are with Andor this week. Again, and then there's like several episodes left. I don't know what's going to happen. I always say I hope it's going to get better, but Andor has been largely a disappointment. It's had a good episode. The other episodes were okay. And this episode, for all of its action, I thought was very slow. Again, last episode didn't even need to exist at all. I wish they'd gotten rid of that episode, cut this episode in half, and put it out there. But, here we are. Take a nap, drink some coffee, watch episode 6 of Andor. Let me know what you think. Tell me I'm off base with this. Maybe I am, but I don't think so. God, Andor is trying to kill me. This has been Roman of the Empire, signing off. Please like and subscribe, as it does help the channel. And God knows we need all the help we can get. Be kind.